Welcome back. Today we're going to be making these little candle holders. It's just a little Christmas tree. When we get ready to start this, now first of all I need to tell you that if you want to get something like this as a pattern, you know, you're going to have to go online and print this. We got ourselves one here, you can see, but I was in with a wood club many years ago. And this came up on it, so I kind of bought into it. So be careful when you go online and download those, and make sure they say free patterns on them. Yeah, so you don't get in trouble for any type of copyrights. But these here is it's an older design. I know what they are. I've seen them before many years ago. Really nice little display things, and of course you can use them as you know, putting your candle at nighttime or whatever like that. They're a lot of fun to make, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this one here. Now, first thing we got to do is we're going to trace them, and you can use when we get ready to cut those trees, you can use a regular scroll saw like this, just a hand one. You can cut them out with that, but we're going to use the table one. And here we have a piece of board, and it's just a regular 1x board. It's 16, I think. Yeah. If you're going to put both pieces on there, it's about 14 something, if you want to put both pieces. So I got those turned around where the grain is going this way, okay, and instead of straight up and down, okay. So, but you can turn it the other way if that's all you have, but that's the way we like it. So we're going to show you, then we're going to draw this out. So we're going to run it down to the end here. Okay, we have the tree drawn out, and then we want this, I want it the same way with the grain going this way. So I'm going to run it to the edge. It'll be less cutting. Those two pieces will be cut already. Okay, there's our two pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the saw, and I'm going to cut as close as I can to the tree. So it's a lot easier when I do that, and then, you know, I could use a scroll saw. So let me go ahead and cut that, and I'll get this piece cut in half. Well, here we are, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Get my light shine down there. It does have a little air tube that runs in the back here that kind of keeps the stuff off of the project when I cut this. And then, of course, I have a light also for it. And these are really nice. This is fun to use. These ones are. This is the older ones we used to use in shop class. And they really do a neat job for just about anything you're doing. See a little better. Now, what I like about this scroll saw is there's a little adjustment, little turnabout here. And I'll show you. And you use this wrench on top here, and you loosen it, and you can see how it turns here on the bottom. So each one's got different slots in them for different types of blades. You know, maybe a bigger blade there, and then of course, let me see if I can get my fingers back for them to see right there. And then if that's the one we were using, so I'm just going to put it back in there, and it kind of guides at this blade in the back here, up and down. And then of course there's a roll bearing there too. You know, it's supposed to go back. I'll have to reset it again, but it'll go back against there. And then they have this is your little air tube that blows the stuff off. So it's a really nice little scroll saw. Okay, we're here at the bandsaw, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the last piece here. Now this is the bottom part, but and then I'll give you the measurement as soon as I get it cut. That noise you hear is them bearings touching, and that's what they do. Sometimes when you put that big of a band on it, it kind of does that. Even small ones, I think it does too. Okay, now the whole length of it is 8 inches long, okay, and by 3.5 inches. And then we have a 1 inch here and a 1 inch over here on this side, and then we have 2.5 inch cut in and a 2.5 inch cut in. Okay, let's go back over to the table and we'll see what we got. Well, we have the bottom here, and then we have the top, and that's what we're going to end up doing. Put it in. Let's turn it this way, like this side, like this, and that's how they're going to sit, like these ones here. Okay. So next thing we got to do, we got to make this. The little candle holder here for it, and we're going to be using a drill press for that. That bottom's off a little bit, but I'll straighten that up with a sander to make sure it sets a little bit square. Got a little marking there. I hope that don't hurt it too much. Turn it this way. Now, if you want, you could go ahead and you can run a router over this. You can router this. You know, it doesn't matter, but you know, you can just sand off if you don't have a router. Just use some sandpaper. And I do drill a hole in the center, so I have to find the center of this. Well, let's go ahead and make this candle, this round piece right here, and then we'll come back over and we're going to start putting it together. All right. What we're going to use is a clear stock piece of like a 2x4. When you cut these, try not to find, you know, try to cut away from the knots because it makes it easier on the bit. This is a pretty old bit. I mean, I've had it around for a good while, and it's done what I needed to do. But we're going to make things like this, and you can see that one's a little bit, a little burnt, but it's an old bit. So let's go ahead and try it. Now, what I have in here is 1.5 inches. Okay, so if you're going to use a hole saw bit like that, just get it about 1.5 inches. That should do the job. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we can do with this thing. Okay, we have it, but it's up inside of here, so I got to pick this thing out, and we just get a little screwdriver type pick and just pull up on it. It's what these little holes here are for, to clean out. Sometimes it's really rough to get them out of there. Here it comes. Come on. There it is. There, we got her now. So, okay, this is what we got to. That's that 1.5 here. So, what we need to do now is get that center hole put into this, and then we can sand this up a little bit. So let's get that center hole put into it. And now I'm using a 7/8 bit, the Forster bit, to put that center hole in it. Okay. Okay. Now I think I bring it down where mine was set, and you don't want it too far down in. It's not good. Really not good to put it too far down in. So we don't want ours going down. We're going to stop it. I would say somewhere maybe stop it down in and leave it, allow maybe a 1/2 inch or 1 inch or something like that. That should work right there. Okay, I'm going to cut a couple of these tools out of the way. Now I'm not going to hold on to that. I don't like doing that. So we're going to put a clamp on ours. That way I keep my fingers away. Yeah, there you go. Got a hole down through the middle of it. Just sand that up a little bit to get the edges off of it to make it look nice, and then we're ready to use it. Let's go back to the table and put some of this stuff together. Okay, so we have sanded up a little bit here to kind of make it look pretty decent. Now, I would say if you really wanted to make a bunch of these, I would probably, you know, do the sanding and stuff that are in painting and the sanding while they're not together. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and put this together. But I'm gonna end up just putting a screw into it, and then you can just see what it looks like. Because you know you might want to run the router over this, but if you're making 4 or 5 or something like that, it'd be great. You know, you can make a bunch of them, just sand them, and run routers and stuff over them, whatever way you like to make them look. You know, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick this together here like this, and then, well, let's turn it this way because that's the way I really like to have it, and center it up so it'd be kind of like, you know, these 2 parts here be even. If you want to, you can probably just measure them, like make a little measurement here, and about 2 1/4 here, and about almost about 2 1/4 there, and then put your little mark here, mark on that side. Okay, and then we can I want to take this and I want to put a hole through it. I don't want to do that through the table, so we're just going to put one right here on the back side. turn over. Now I'm using this is a 1-inch, but you can just gotta watch you don't put it a real big one in there. You don't want it to keep going through. So, and then I'm gonna stick this back on here like this. That's good. That part right here. Now we have to do is put this little piece here on. Just center it up. Keep it, I don't know, I just made up a spot. This one here, I did this one in the middle, and then these ones I kind of brung up a little bit further up, you know, just to kind of be a little bit more safer, just in case. I don't think I'm going to actually burn them, you know, just kind of display pieces, you know, but you can. So I'm just going to place this right here in the middle. Put me a little mark there. Okay, there you go. Now, well, like I said, I'll probably end up, you know, tearing this back apart and sanding it down real nice, trying to get the edges a little bit, you know, the roughness off of it, and then paint it before I'm sticking it back together. So if you pre-drill everything like you have here, it's going to be a lot easier to put this back together. And then, like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can decorate these. You just use your imagination, and then, like I said, look online, find a pattern that you want to use. Now you can go on Etsy, and Etsy, a lot of people sell just the thin boards. What did I do with that one? Like this. This is a not an aspenite, but it's I can't remember the name of it now. But it's a real thin board, and they sell them on Etsy. And you can buy them for $1 and something, and maybe pick 2 or 3 of them up, and then, you know, they'd be worth just to use it for patterns. And then you just make your own little base. If you don't want to use this, I've seen people just make the square little bases, and then they just set them on top of it, you know. But this is an older design, is what that is. I would say that's probably, I don't know, it might go back here pretty far. You guys leave me a comment if you think that design, how far back that design goes. But I would say clear back in maybe the 70s or something like that. Could have went further, but I would say at least 1970s. And then pick out the candles you want. Now all I did was light a candle. I had one, because we cut these down. These were really big, you know, and then I just cut them in half. I think it was like 10-inch candles. You can get smaller ones, but I got the bigger ones because I'm using some other things. And I melted down inside, so I melted the candle wax in it. Okay, and then I stuck the candle down in it so it kind of stayed there like that. That's why they're not kind of tilting over or nothing. So, and then pick out the paint. I've been picking this up at Walmart. The paint, it runs around, I don't know, $5 something a can, and seems like pretty decent paint. Covers really nice. Try that first, and then you can look around from other places. But like I said, I only tell you to be real cautious about what you print off the line, so it doesn't come up copyright. Okay. All right. Just remember, Christmas is coming. Great thing for a gift for one of your loved ones or somebody that you care for, or even just like I said, a neighbor, somebody that may be down. It always brings their spirit up a little bit, make them happy. That's what we're there for. We're there to help everybody out and make everybody happier than what they are now. You know, time this year is sometimes you get stressed. Okay, you guys just leave the comments down below. I really appreciate it. Keep the thumbs up going. It's helping out my channel a lot. And you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.